And welcome back to Property Palz. My name is Ben.
My name is Marcus.
And we're so happy to be back for another weekend. Another week of the podcast.
Delivery out of 10, but I tell you what has been delivering so far this season is the Brisbane Lions.
There we go. Can't forget it. Come on, give us a
grand final week this week. Brisbane's made the grand final, and I've vowed to Ben, if they win the grand final, I'll do it in full Brisbane Lions kit the next podcast.
You know what we might have to do next episode? If Brizzy Lions win, we might need to review one Brisbane property.
Let's do
just
it. One
for the fun
Brisbane
of it.
property. And I was born in Fitzroy, that's why I go for the Lions. Let's get into it this week, Benny
Come
boy.
on, let's go.
Number
five. I'm taking you to Hawthorn. Now this is 54A Connell Street.
Connell, Ben?
Connell?
Yeah, Connell.
Yeah, I guess Connell.
Because Cornell would have an R, I reckon.
Cornell. Well, leave us a comment below. Anyway, 54A Connell Street, Hawthorn. It's a 2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car auction, and it is quoted for 1.7 to 1.8 million. Big ones.
Well, Ben, do you like circles?
I
do
do
like
love
squares?
circles. This one, you cannot fit a square peg through the circular hole. Anyway, this one, guys, it was the winner of the Victorian Architectural Medal in the year 2000. Reminiscent of the designs by Grounds and McIries, which I'm not really sure what that is, in the 1950s. This one is a super special one, Marcus, because when you look at it, we'll pop up the floor plans ahead, you can see that it kind of encircles around a circular interior garden or terrace with a beautiful tree on the inside of it. And this one here, it's got a little bit of X Factor. There's something special about it.
Well, Ben, tell me what the X Factor is, please.
Well, the X Factor is the tree in the middle.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Like, I think what's unique about this one is it's definitely got a lot of personality, and there's a special design with it. You can see there's 2 bedrooms. It's a little bit interesting how you walk around the courtyard when you're on the inside. This one here definitely would be a must inspect, I feel.
Oh, Ben, yes. The usable space in here is questionable.
And I think what is interesting is that there's actually a video up there too, and you can see the bedrooms feel a little bit weird, and they do have, so the bathroom does open up so that you can actually just have a cheeky bath while looking at the courtyard, and I guess if you're...
I'm confused.
And so when I was looking at this, I think the appeal of this one, to me, it feels like a downsizer would buy this, Marcus.
Yeah, I
like
agree.
a downsizer, 1 guest room for maybe the grandkids or people that come over, but it feels like a downsizer. Now, it is close to Hawthorn Park, close to Burwood Road, Hawthorn Station, Grace Park, Burwood Road. It last sold for $1.31 million in March 2016.
You just have to fall in love with it, Ben. I think the buyers just have to fall in love with circles.
But I think like it's a circle of life. Some people will like this look of it. And so it's appreciated $500,000 in 7 years. That's Look at the time. I'm speeding through this, thank you very much. I'm very concise with my summaries of these properties. If $500,000 in 7 years, that's 5.5% each year. 216 square metres of land. Look, I think you can probably get 2 cars in this, one in the covered garage and one just at the front. But like I mentioned, I think it's probably a downsizer that this would suit.
Yeah. Ben, in the future, would this be a shoe-in to get heritage just because it's won awards?
It's a good question. I'm not really sure whether it would, whether it's not. I think when we looked at it, there's no heritage overlay, but look, it's got something a bit special about it, and someone will fall in love with it. Anyway, let's get into number 2.
Last question, Ben.
Number 4.
Oh, no.
Come on, get on number 4. Come on, number 4, number 4.
Number 4, Ben. So,
Where are we up
20
to?
of 380 Toorak Road, South Yarra. 3
Hurry
bed,
up.
2 bath, 2 car. Auction 1.15 to 1.25
Okay.
mil. Now, Mr. Big Boy.
Yes.
It last sold in 2003 for 515k. It was originally bought for 394k in 1994.
Wait a second. Hold the phone.
Yeah.
$500,000 in 2003, and now it's worth what? What's the quote?
1.25 million.
So, wait a minute, that's an apartment that's gone up. That's almost doubled in value.
Yes,
That's
but
good.
I think, yes, it is good. I think this is in more a unique apartment in the sense. It's in a more
okay.
of a boutique apartment. It's older style.
Yeah.
Last sold, I've said that. Uncertain of how big it is because RP Data Price Finder didn't say, but I estimate it to be about 100 to 110 square metres, Ben.
Okay.
So it's approximately 11.3k per square metre.
11,000, okay.
It's a traditional English manor in the heart of South Yarra, so Kingsfold Residence, I think it's called. It says it's superbly appointed while overlooking the tranquility of the building's communal gardens.
I would have to agree.
It's got the secret gardens in there. It's a great location in South Yarra, Toorak Village, Como Park, and the Yarra River. But Ben, how is that layout? Don't you love the separation?
Now, I think those bedrooms So the 2 bedrooms there and the main bedroom, they're separated. That's ideal for kids and ideal for, the parents.
Ben snores.
Or, other way around. That's right. Now, the living room, dining room, I feel it's not a huge area in comparison to the bedrooms, right?
It's
not
pretty
massive.
big, Ben. It's 40 square metres.
Oh yeah, it is quite
Sorry,
big.
it's not. It's 24 square metres.
It looks,
it's 24,
so
not
it just
40
looks
square
in comparison to the bedrooms. But then again, for that sort of amount, what is it? 1.2 to 1.1 to 1.2 million dollars. Was that approximately what it was?
Yeah, 1.15
I
to
can tell the
1.25.
median house price for a house in South Yarra. We're going to pop it up here, but I'm going to say for a 3-bedroom, it's got to be 1.5, 1.6, maybe even 1 million more than that. And so that can be an attractive entry point for a family. Security of living in an apartment, and that's a huge terrace.
I like the terrace. It faces west and east. It's not too bad, but for some reason, the photos actually look a bit like lacking in light, Ben. So I'm not sure if that's because it's older style, the windows are not as large. You tell me.
I can tell you a little bit.
Tell me more.
Let me just have a look at the agent. It's Marshall White. That's the way that they do their photos. So they do it with it. Yeah, they do it. They don't do it with the lights on, and that's why it looks a bit dark on the inside. But it gives a very relaxed, tranquil,
But why
and
do they
laid
do
back.
it with that, Ben?
I agree. That's what we can say. We've actually used Marshall White
them,
before,
yeah,
and
we
that's
have.
what they do as well. And at the time, I thought, oh, okay, lights off. But I can see it's a style, and it does look very relaxed. The terrace there looks good, and so this is an internally facing one, right? The windows from the dining room, the kitchen
I think it
area.
goes both ways, Ben, because if you look at the floor plan, it goes both.
It's got a balcony and a terrace. I think this
The
is
terrace
very attractive
huge.
for a family.
It's massive, that big terrace, like as large as a deck terrace you could get.
And that terrace, that leads onto a communal kind of fountain area around the middle. I think
That's not
attractive.
the terrace there, though.
Oh, but I
No,
think your
that's just the
terrace
walkway.
leads... Oh, yeah, so you overlook the internal. Or
believe,
maybe you
yeah.
don't. Actually, I reckon that's just the
that's-
outside of the property.
Anyway, Ben, let's
on to
move
number
on.
3. Love it.
Wow.
I'm going to take you to a super duper cool suburb, which we have talked about for many a time. I'm taking you to Collingwood, Marcus.
Okay, Ben,
and we're
take
going
me
to,
there.
wait a second, last week we reviewed a property there. We're going back to Peel Street again.
Oh, no!
Number 22 Peel Street.
Let's go, our
Unit
favourite,
503.
Oxford and Peel.
That is right, Oxford and Peel. Now, this is a Jason Clement Barrows
JCB.
designed apartment building. It was developed by Small Giants back in 2016.
And they were associated with Impact?
They
That's all right, we'll go on.
No, so Small Giants, they developed it back in that time. Now it's 53 apartments. This is the only 3-bedder in the whole complex.
Also, they're open air corridors from
That's
my
right.
memory as well.
That's not only from your memory. You are correct, Marcus.
Oh,
It is an
always.
open, the corridors leading to the apartments in the inside, open air, so it's quite nice. Now this is 7-star NATES as well, so very sustainable.
yeah.
And what else can I comment on? So it's quoted, it's 3-bed, 2-bath, 1 car, quoted for $1 to $1.1 million. But guess how big the internal area is, Marcus?
Ben, I'm going to have a look here. I only think it would be 80 square metres.
You don't even need to guess because it says on the plans, 82 square
Oh,
metres.
bang, damn.
Now-
That's great. Can we just say thank you to the agents, thank you to the listing agents for putting the actual size on the layout. That is bravo.
It makes our life easier, but I think if I was the agent in this case, I probably wouldn't be putting it on there because
Right.
that comes out to the lower quote range is 12,000 a square metre, on the upper range is 13,400 a square metre.
Well, Ben, are we taking it from the perspective of the buyer or the agent?
Ooh, good point. It depends if you're from the vendor
Yeah.
or from who's also known as the seller or from the buyer. Now, from the buyer makes it very simple. So we're thankful that it's there. And so it comes out to approximately, let's just say right in the middle of the quote range, 13,000 a square metre.
Ben, to be honest, when you compare that with other developments like Milieu in the area, it's like a comparable. But I think
It's kind of comparable, but that's definitely the upper range of it. Like new apartments sell for that sort of amount. So, but this does have a little bit of X factor.
Well, yeah, it's a ripper apartment, to be honest, Ben. You've got 3 bedrooms. Let's be honest, there's a couple of the bedrooms that aren't necessarily amazing. You've got that 2.9 by 4.5. The main bedroom looks fine. And then the other one, I think, looks internally.
That's right. But because you've got the open door corridor,
Yeah, which is fine.
it looks okay, and they haven't shown a photo of where that window leads in the listing anyway. But I think what's really attractive is that the dining and living room area, it overlooks the Peel
Park?
Street Park.
There's another park coming in Peel Street too, Ben, or Cambridge Street.
That's right, Cambridge Street's just been, the Cambridge Reserve has been expanded, which we commented on last week, but this one here, it is a really nice looking park. And this one overlooks it. It's got, at night time, it's really cool. On one of those I've seen on one of the heritage building, they kind of project videos on it. So it's a real cool, hip place right at the heart of the hustle and the bustle. I know you mentioned one of those bedrooms isn't flash. You're right, 2.9 by 4.5, a little bit small, but it's big enough for a bedroom. And the main bedroom has an ensuite, which is attractive. The other bedroom, 3.1 by 3.6, that's attractive. Dining, living room area, 3 metres by 5.4. It's got an island bench. I think that's attractive. It's got a 6 by 4.5 metre terrace.
You're never going to get built out, Ben.
And you're right, you're not going to be built out because in front of you is a park.
Yeah.
Now, the only issue, I think, is the area. It's not a huge 3-bedroom apartment. It's 82 square metres, but that could be an attractive size, I think, because naturally the bigger you get, the more quantum of dollars you need.
Bigger is better then in this situation.
Well, yeah.
In terms of the size of the apartment, but you want that rate to be down.
That's right. So the smaller sometimes is better in this stage because the smaller it means quantum of dollars wise, it's hopefully more affordable.
I've never thought about smaller being better, but yes,
that's right, right. And then the last thing though, I think, is that it's one car and it isn't a stacker. Yeah. But so for a 3-bedroom, 1 car, some families might be like, well, we need 2 cars. But then again, it's all about sustainability.
It is, isn't it?
1 car might be enough. Come on, get onto it.
Let's do it. Number 2, 413/36 Darling Street, South Yarra.
Love it.
2-bed, 1 bath, 1 car. But Ben, if you look at the actual floor plan, get out that floor plan for me. Good man.
What's up?
I think it's 2 bathrooms, Ben, or 1 powder room and an actual bathroom.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So I think you just have a look, inspect. 62 square metres internally, auction 630 to 670k. Last sold in 2018, Ben, for 655k.
Oh, so it's right in the middle of the quote.
2018, 4,
so what's that, 5 years ago? And
it's in the quote range.
Okay, well, ideally though, maybe there's hope that it'll get above that quote range.
Well, there's
it's
hope.
Right in that first home buyer sort of range, right?
Yeah, correct. But Ben, it's interesting. Like, it's been 5 or so years. You'd hope for a bit more appreciation.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait till auction day.
Exactly, and we will. Sold in 2012 for 420k too.
Okay.
Property
so that for when was that?
2012.
2012 and then 2018.
Yep.
So that's 6 years later.
Yep.
And it sold for $200,000 more.
Yes, 220.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one thing I did think, Marcus, is that do you think people will fall in love with this one?
Ben, I think they could fall in love with it, and I'll tell you why. The property was built in 1996 and was sold in the same year for 254k. Yes, it is old. The listing is only quoting up to 670, so it's about, I think, $10,000 per square metre.
Okay.
But, Ben, the thing that I like about it is it's over 2 levels. It's unique. It's got that Miller's kitchen compact area. It's got a ripper-dipper-duper balcony on the side. I don't think you'll be built out, Ben. And it's in an older building. Like, it's
Do you think it has a lift?
Oh, no way.
It might not have a lift. That is a positive for some people.
Owners Corps.
Lower Owners Corporation fees. Now, we have an inspector, so must inspect, double check yourself, look at your OC fees. And look on the inside there. Kind of, it's got like a California sort of feel on the inside, doesn't it?
We might be going to California soon
wow,
as well.
we do. That's right. Well, for another episode, we've got a US trip coming up. We might do a couple of episodes from the US, do a US version. But anyway,
we will.
Stay tuned. Now, looks okay. I think it looks pretty good. You're right, that balcony or terrace looks great.
It's renovated as such. It's this sublime 2-story, 2-bedroom apartment with a basement car space is in an awesome location. Oh, Ben, it actually says lift access.
Okay, well, it does have a lift. There you go.
Owners Corp fees.
Must inspect.
I think it's a really just good location, South Yarra. We love it. It's good for downsizes. You're near the South Yarra train station, the 10, Faulkner Park. It faces west, mainly in living space. That's okay. But the balcony, Ben.
And we're going to pop up a photo of when you're on that balcony there and look just across from what's blocking your view. What's good about that?
Oh, Ben, they look heritage to me, those townhouses.
That's right. They all look fairly heritage. I'm guessing the zoning there's hopefully is probably something like neighbourhood residential or maybe general residential. And so then you will preserve that sort of view.
Oh, Ben,
I like it.
That's a bang. I think this is a really nice 2-bedder that is good value.
Love it.
Go for it.
Okay, on to number 1. We're steaming through it. Come on, go, go, go. Now this one we're bringing up again, staying in the same suburb. This is a bit of a unique one. So we're going to pop up unique right here.
Yes, please.
It's very unique. Now I'm taking you to
unbelievable.
16H Staples Lane, South Yarra.
Yes, Ben.
And now would you believe this one used to be a horse stable right back in the day. So there's heritage over this property. It is a 1-bed, 1-bath, no car. Quoted for, it's an auction, $330,000 to $360,000.
So what do you say when your friends, I'm looking to buy a property, and they're like, oh, what type? Well, it's a horse stable.
There you go, nay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeehaw! Anyway, we're going to pop up the floor plans here. Now you can see there's no dimensions. Do your due diligence. Sometimes, as we've commented before, properties that are less than a certain size,
Tiny Ben by the looks.
yeah, generally if they're smaller than 40 square metres, but it depends from bank to bank, that they won't be willing to loan you the traditional, 80% on the 20 deposit
Well,
that
they might
you need.
not. Yeah, they might loan
Or
you
they might
at
not be
all.
willing to loan. So you need to double check that. So what you do, you take this and you give it to your bank, say, what can I get a loan on this? But if they will, now that's an attractive price range, right? $330,000.
What do you need? 60K?
You know, $65,000, $66 to be exact. No stamps if you're a first home buyer because it's below that range. A little bit of
Well
legal.
below as well.
We're probably talking under $70,000. You can buy a pad in the middle of South Yarra.
For someone who literally just wants continuity in terms of their their mortgage repayments on a really low value and not being a huge apartment development, then.
And you got a little bit of land, kind of.
Well, yeah, heritage land, we love it.
I think it's cool.
It also faces north the bedroom. The living room faces south, but that's okay. You can't win them all.
That's right.
Then I don't know, what do you think it could be priced higher because it's so niche?
I think depending on what the land is. Now, I tried to research and look at it on land data, but I couldn't actually find out how big the land is. But you can go there, you can measure it out yourself if you wanted to. But for that sort of amount of money, I think it's quite attractive. The one thing that you probably need to do, apart from the banking issues, is that you just behind you is the train line.
How behind you?
Literally just to your south. So because you're on ground there, it might be a little bit noisy.
Have you heard about being
The hustle and the bustle.
Yes. Oh wow, yeah, it's
so-
literally right behind you.
Some people might not be able to deal with that, but then some people might not have the issue. And you might go there and you might find it actually isn't that noisy at all. But this is, again, a must inspect, and you probably go there and you stay there for a little bit of time just to get a feel. But also, too, I'm going to pop up a photo of the adjacent townhouse,
Okay,
which
Ben.
is 16G, and you can see it's got some beautiful greenery on the side of the facade of the property.
Well, Ben, that's a good observation. Mate. I was just wondering. So, I thought this was a standalone for a minute, but there are different apartments or townhouses
there.
in this overall massive stable.
But I think it's pretty cool, and I think you can jump on your horse, giddy up, and go to auction.
Well, Ben, I thought last thing I'll say. I know we're nearly getting to the end, but the housing statement came out last week.
That's a good comment.
So we maybe in the next episode we'll go through that a bit more. We're just trying to sift through what it really means. But I think it was 800,000 homes.
They want to do 80,000
Sorry,
homes
80,000
every
homes
year.
every year, which was incredible.
And we're built, which is 30,000 above what we're doing at the moment. So basically, it's the big build. We need to build more apartments, need to find more housing for people, solve this housing crisis, right? And so overall,
Yeah, overall, I was just going to say, it says we're setting a bold target to build 800,000 homes in Victoria over the next decade.
we like it big and bold, don't we, here on the podcast?
Ben, now let's wrap it up. Thanks so much, Property Palz viewers, for tuning in. Go the Mighty Lions, and
we'll see you next week, hopefully with a smile on our face.
let's do it.
See you then. Bye.